So welcome back again students to another video lesson. So after nating i-discuss yung properties of operations on integers, so our next video lesson will be expressing rational numbers from fraction to decimal form and vice versa. So before we proceed to converting fraction to decimal form and vice versa, let us first define what is rational number. So for our lesson objectives, we have first one, to define rational numbers. Second one, to convert fractions to decimals and vice versa. Also, to convert terminating decimals into fractions. And finally, convert non-terminating repeating decimals into fractions. So, yung mga terminating decimals and non-terminating decimals na yan, i-discuss ko po yan isa-isa mamaya. So, let us now define rational numbers. A rational number is a number that can be written in the form of a over b, where a and b are integers, and b is not equal to 0. So again, a and b are integers. It can be positive or negative. And then b should not be equal to 0. Kasi pag naging 0 po ang ating denominator, magiging undefined po yung ating number. And then, what are the types of rational numbers? So, fractions, decimals, whole numbers, integers. These are some of the numbers that can be written in the form of a over b. So, kapag nasusulat natin siya again in the form of a over b, rational number siya. Kapag hindi naman, ang kabaligtaran ng rational number, which is irrational number, na i-explain ko sa mga susunod ko pang mga videos. So, let's have the types of rational numbers. So, the first one, the set of integers. As you can see, meron tayo dyan, negative integers, 0, and positive integers. So, lahat ng integers classified as rational numbers. What else? Whole numbers. Okay. So, whole numbers, we start with 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So, sa whole numbers naman, hindi po dito kabilang yung mga negative integers. Kapag whole numbers lang, 0 and all the set of positive integers. Okay? And then, the natural numbers naman, or what we call counting numbers. So, nag-i-start tayo ng counting by the number 1. So, and then, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So, again, hindi po dito classified yung mga negative integers as well as 0. And of course, fractions. So, example of fractions, 1/4, negative 2 over 9, 15 over 23. So, kitang-kita nyo naman dyan na ang 1, yun yung a, the numerator. And then 4, yun yung denominator. So therefore, fractions are considered as rational numbers. So let's now have the types of fractions. A proper fraction is a fraction whose numerator is less than the denominator. So let's have examples. 1/5, 23 over 50, negative 2 over 7, negative 99 over 100. So kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga numerators ng ating given fractions mas mababa sa denominators. Okay. So, yung numerator, yung mga nakasulat sa itaas. And then, yung mga number na nakaisulat sa pinakababa, yun yung denominator. So, let's now have improper fraction. So, an improper fraction is a fraction whose numerator is greater than the denominator. So, the improper fraction is the exact opposite of a proper fraction. Wherein, mas mataas yung number na nakasulat sa itaas, which is the numerator, kesa dun sa number na nakasulat sa ibaba, which is the denominator. Like for examples, ayan, 19 over 3, 64 over 51, negative 37 over 9, negative 100 over 99. So, kitang-kita naman yung ating mga numerators, 19, 64, 37, 100, mas mataas sila dun sa mga denominators, 3, 51, 9, tsaka 99. So we also have mixed numbers. A mixed number is a combination of a number and a proper fraction. So let's have examples. 1 and 4 over 11, 23 and 6 over 29, and negative 5 and 7 over 12. So as you can see, combination nga siya ng isang number and a proper fraction. So again, kapag proper fraction, mas mababa yung numerator kesa sa denominator. So let's have types of decimals. Terminating decimals are decimal numbers with specific number of digits after the decimal point. So kapag sinulat natin yung number and then may decimal siya, yung mga numbers pagkatapos ng decimal point na yon ay pwede nating mabilang. So kapag nabibilang natin yon, ang tawag doon, terminating decimal. So let's have examples of terminating decimals. Number 1, so yung iba, binabasa nila as 0.253. Pero ang tamang basa dyan is 253 thousandths. So yung place value ng 2 dito is tenths. And then yung 5 naman, hundredths. And then yung 3, thousandths. Number 2, 123.45. So read as 123 and 45 hundredths. And then the last one, so binabasa ng iba yan as 62.0037. Pero ang tamang basa niyan is 62 and 37 ten thousandths. So after po kasi ng place value na thousandths, ang kasunod po niya is 10 thousandths. So after ng 10 thousandths, 100 thousandths, and then millions. So we also have non-terminating decimals. So non-terminating decimals are decimal numbers without specific number of digits after the decimal point. So kung yung terminating decimals, nabibilang natin yung mga numbers after ng decimal point, pag non-terminating decimals, hindi natin sila nabibilang. And then, there are two types of non-terminating decimals, namely repeating decimals and non-repeating decimals. So, pag repeating decimals yan, ibig sabihin, may mga particular number na umuulit ng walang katapusan. And then, yung kabaligtaran niya, yung non-repeating decimals naman, so, walang number na umuulit after ng decimal point, pero wala ding katapusan. So, let's have examples of repeating decimals. So, yung una nating example, so kung mapapansin nyo, yung repeating digit natin is 2. So, non-terminating siya kasi walang katapusan ang pag-ulit ng 2. And then, we can also write it as 0.2 para mas mapaikli siya. So, sulat natin siya 0.2 and then, lagyan natin siya ng bar sa taas. Ang tawag po dyan sa bar sa taas is vinculum. So, nilalagyan po natin ng vinculum sign ang isang decimal kapag nagkakaroon ng repeating digit or repeating digits. So, hindi lang po kasi isa ang pwedeng mag-repeat na digit yan. Pwedeng 2, 3, 4 o depende dun sa given. Number 2 naman, 0.53, 53, 53 and so on is a non-terminating repeating decimal. So, dalawa ditong sa digits ng given natin ay nagre-repeat, which is 53. So, we can also write it as 0.53 and then lagyan natin siya ng vinculum. So, dun sa first given natin, since isa lang yung nagre-repeat na digit, isang number lang ang pwedeng nating lagyan ng vinculum. Like for example, 0.22. Tapos may 2 pa nakasunod, infinitely many. So, again, ang lalagyan lang natin ng vinculum is yung digit na nagre-repeat. So, kapag ang digit hindi naman siya nagre-repeat, hindi po siya natin lalagyan ng vinculum kasi hindi siya non-terminating. Terminating siya kasi nabibilang natin yung mga number of digits. So, let's have an example of non-repeating decimals. The value of pi is a non-terminating and non-repeating decimal wherein the approximate value is 3.1459 and so on. So, kung hindi po kayo familiar sa pi, yung pi po ginagamit po yan sa circle, sa pagkuha ng circumference and area. Okay. So, non-terminating and non-repeating siya kasi kung makikita nyo, wala namang mga digits, particular digits na umuulit. Okay. So, kapag may mga umuulit yan, pwede nating sabihin na repeating decimal. Okay. Depende rin naman kung meron siyang 3 consecutive dots na nakalagay. Okay. So, dito, dahil nakalagay ang 3 consecutive dots dito, marami pa kasing kasunod na number. So, how do we change fractions to decimals? So, in order to change fractions to decimals, we need to divide the numerator by the denominator. So, let's have examples. Number 1, 4/5. So, ang gagawin natin dito, yung numerator, i-divide natin sa denominator. So, ang numerator natin dito is yung 4, and then yung denominator natin is yung 5. So, pag sinulat natin siya, ganito dapat, 4, and then, divided by 5. Yung 4, yung numerator, dapat nasa loob. Mag-a-act siya as dividend. Yung mag-a-act naman as divisor is yung denominator, which is 5. 4 divided by 5, that is 0. And then, mag-a-add tayo ng decimal point, and then make sure yung decimal na to, naka-align siya sa itaas. So, magkatapat dapat sila. And then, we add 0. So, 40 divided by 5, that is 8. So, therefore, 4/5 is equivalent to 0.8. So, paano natin babasahin ng 0.8 na to? 8/10. So, sulat natin siya, 8/10. Okay, next, 13/20. So, ituturo ko sa inyo yung mas madaling process. So, yung power of 10. So, ang gagawin natin, i-multiply natin tong 20 sa 5, tsaka yung numerator. So, 13 times 5, that is 65 over 100. Since yung denominator natin is 100, power siya ng 10, ang gagawin lang natin sa 65 is mag-move tayo ng dalawang decimal places. Okay, so 65 over 100 is equivalent to 0.65. So let's have example number 3, 24 over 50. So 24 divided by 50. So we cannot divide 24 by 50 kasi mas maliit yung 24 kesa sa 50. So we need to add decimal point and then 0. And then yung decimal point, itapat, i-align lang natin. And then magiging 240 divided by 50, and that is 4. 4 times 50, that is 200. And then we subtract 0 minus 0, that is 0. And then 4 minus 0, that is 4. 2 minus 2, that is 0. Now, 40 divided by 50 cannot be. So we need to add again another 0. So magiging 400. So 400 divided by 50, that is 8. And then 8 times 50, that is 400. We subtract, the answer is 0. So 24 over 50 is equivalent to 0.48. Next, 38 over 100. So 38 divided by 100, we cannot divide. So mag-add tayo ng 0. So magiging 380, and then divide natin sa 100, makakakuha tayo ng 3. So 3 times 100, that is 300. Next, we subtract 0 minus 0, that is 0. 8 minus 0, that is 8. 3 minus 3, that is 0. And then 80 divided by 100 cannot be, so we need to add another 0. So to make it 800. 800 divided by 100, that is 8. So our final answer is 0.38. So what about fractions to repeating decimals? So yung last two examples ko, repeating decimals po yan. So ipapakita ko sa inyo paano sila naging repeating decimals. So 7 over 9. So 7 divided by 9. So 7 divided by 9 cannot be. So we need to add decimal point and then 0. So 70 divided by 9, that is 7. 7 times 9, that is 63. And then we subtract 0 minus 3 cannot be. So we borrow 1 from 7, magiging 6, and then itong 0 magiging 10. 10 minus 3, that is 7. And then 6 minus 6 is 0. And then we add another 0. Ayan. 70 divided by 9, again, 7. 7 times 9, that is 63. As you can see, ayan, umuulit yung pattern natin. Kanina 70 minus 63, ngayon naman 70 minus 63 na naman. So, ayan. So, pwede natin siyang itigil dito kasi repeating decimal siya. So, paano natin isusulat ang final answer natin? As you can see, sa quotient natin, yung repeating digit natin is 7. So, isusulat natin siya as 0.7 and then vinculum. 0.7 repeating. So, this is our final answer. So, hindi natin siya pwedeng isulat ng 0.77777 lang. Okay. So, sulat natin siya ganito. 0.777. Ayan. And then yung ellipsis. Pero mas maganda, isulat natin siya as 0.7 and then yung may vinculum. Next, 3/11. So, 3 divided by 11, that is 0. So, we need to add 0. Decimal place, a decimal point. So, magiging 30 divided by 11, that is 2. So, that is 2 times 11, 22. And then, we subtract. 0 minus 2 cannot be. So, manghihiram tayo sa 3. And then, magiging 2. Yung 0 magiging 10. 10 minus 2, that is 8. Okay. Next, we need to add 0. So, 80 divided by 11, that is 7. So, 7 times 11, that is 77. So, 80 minus 77, that is 3. Next, we need to add 0. So, kapag nakita natin na may nagre-repeat na, pwede na tayong tumigil. Okay, kasi kapag repeating decimals, wala po yung katapusan, kahit na non-repeating pa siya. So, 30 divided by 11, 2. And then, 2 times 11, that is 22. So, 30 minus 22, that is 8. And then, another 0, that is 80. Okay. So, 80 divided by 11, 7 ulit. As you can see, umuulit na lang yung ating pattern. So, therefore, our final answer for 3/11 is 0.27 and then vinculum. Ayan. Pwede natin ding isulat as 0.27, 27, and then yung ellipsis. So, pero mas maganda talaga na sinusulat natin yung final answers natin using the vinculum sign. Next, what about decimals to fractions? To change decimals to fractions, write the decimal number over its place value. However, this is applicable only to terminating decimals and repeating decimals. So, kapag non-terminating, non-repeating decimal siya, hindi po natin yun pwedeng i-convert into fractions. So, let's have examples. Terminating decimals to fractions. So, yung number 1 example natin, 0.4 or 4/10. So, yung place value ng 4 is 10. So, i-over natin yung 4 sa 10. So, that is 4 over 10. So, in fractions, we need to simplify or reduce the fraction in lowest term. So, ano ba yung common factor ng 4 tsaka 10? That is 2. So, divide natin sa numerator and denominator yung 2. 4 divided by 2, that is 2. 10 divided by 2, that is 5. So, yung equivalent fraction ng 0.4 ay 2/5. So, para ibalik yung 2/5 sa 0.4, gawin natin yung, i-divide natin yung numerator sa denominator. Next, 0.025 or 25 thousandths. So, yung decimal number na 25 over natin sa 1,000. Now, what is the common factor of 25 and 1,000? That is 25. So, divide natin 25 to both numerator and denominator. So, 25 divided by 25, that is 1 over 1,000 divided by 25, that is 40. So, ito yung equivalent fractions niya ng 0.025 or 25 thousandths. So, next examples, number 3, 2.0 74 or 2 and 74 hundredths. So, meron na tayong whole number dito na 2 and then yung decimal number natin 74. So, ang mangyayari, sulat lang natin yung whole number na 2 and then yung 74 over natin sa place value niya which is 100. And then to simplify 74 over 100, kunin natin yung GCF. So, sa pagkuha ng GCF, dapat yung pinakamataas na, yung greatest. For example, yung 74 tsaka 100, ang greatest common factor nila, dalawa is 4. Ang ginamit mo lang is 2. Okay. So, ang mangyayari nun, madodoble. Dalawang beses ka magdi-divide ng 2. Okay. What is the greatest common factor of 74 and 100? And that is 2. So, yun na yung pinaka mataas. So, divide natin yung 74 sa 2 tsaka yung 100. So, ang final answer natin, 2 and 37 over 50. So, paano kung ang greatest common factor nila ng numerator and denominator is 1? Yun na yun. Simplified na. Hindi na kailangan pang i-lowest term. Next, 15.0016 or read as 15 and 16 thousandths. So, ganito siya isusulat, 15 and 16 over 1 thousandths. Okay. And then, we simplify 16 over 1 thousandths kasi ang common factor, greatest common factor nila ay 8. So, 16 divided by 8, that is 2. And then, 1,000 divided by 8, that is 125. So, our final answer will be 15 and 2 over 125. So, let's have a shortcut in changing repeating decimals to fractions. So, iba po kasi yung nakasulat dyan sa mga modules. Pero kapag in-apply natin tong formula na i-explain ko sa inyo, i-discuss ko sa inyo, kapareho lang naman siya dun sa nakasulat sa mga modules. So, yung formula is n all over PV minus 1, where n is the decimal number. And then PV is the place value of the decimal minus 1. Okay, like for example, kung yung place value niya is tenths, 10 minus 1. So, yung magiging denominator natin is 9. So, let's have examples of repeating decimals to fractions. Para ma-apply natin yung formula, so let's have example number 1, 0.8 repeating. Okay? So, applicable lang po yung formula na yon sa mga repeating decimals. Hindi po pwede sa non-repeating decimals at maging dun sa mga terminating decimals. So, ayan. Yung 8, over natin sa place value ng 8, which is 10, and then minus 1. 8 over, so 10 minus 1, that is 9. So, the equivalent fraction of 0.8 repeating is 8 over 9. Para ma-check natin kung tama ang sagot, kailangan yung i-divide yung 8 sa denominator na 9. So, makikita nyo dyan na paulit-ulit lang yung 8. Next, 0.123 repeating. Okay, so ganun pa rin naman. 123 over 1,000 minus 1. So, 1,000 minus 1, that is 999. As you can see, may number na divisible ang 123 tsaka 999. And that is 3. So, we need to divide the numerator and the denominator by 3. So, 123 divided by 3, that is 41 over 999 divided by 3, that is 333. So, our final answer is 41 all over 333. Again, para malaman nyo kung tama ang sagot, so just simply divide 41 by 333. For our last examples, 0.25 repeating. So, ano ang place value ng 25? Hundreds. Okay, that is 25 all over 100 minus 1. 100 minus 1, that is 99. Can we simplify 25 over 99? No, kasi ang greatest common factor lang nila is 1. Kapag dinivide natin tong 25 and 99 sa 1, ito pa rin naman ang lilitaw. So, ang final answer natin is 25 over 99. Next, for our last example, 5 point and then 42 repeating. So, ang gagawin natin dito, sulat natin yung whole number na 5 and then 42 over natin sa 100 minus 1. Next, 42 over 100 minus 1, that is 99. So, may common factor ang 42 tsaka 99, which is 3. So, kailangan nating i-divide sa 3. So, our final answer will be 5. And then 42 divided by 3, that is 14. 99 divided by 3, that is 33. Okay, so our final answer will be 5 and 14 over 33. So after natin i-discuss ang topic on rational numbers, pag-express ng fraction to decimal and decimal to fractions, so our next lesson will be performing operations on rational numbers. So para lang siyang review ng mga lessons nyo nung elementary. Pero rational numbers na ang pag-uusapan natin dito, may kasama ng negative. Okay, so nung elementary kasi puro lang positive. So yun lang, maraming salamat.